Hello, hello, hello. Third time lucky. Look, I'm just checking my internet connection over there. We've got blue lights all the way. I'm suspecting that this one's going to work. I've just done 2 broadcasts that haven't worked, but hopefully these are. Welcome to 2023. Here we go. Spring's on its way. If you want to make the most of spring, then let's get cracking now. So I thought I'd start off with a nice, easy 2-part rider confidence strategy that will, as long as you adopt it, give you the most enormous help through the oncoming season. And the season is oncoming. We're going to be in March before you can say diggity split. Okay, so while people just populate the live broadcast, I'll just do a little bit of housekeeping. If you're waiting for the subscribers page, so am I. There's a few Facebook problems for the subscribers page. If you had problems joining, if you had problems connecting, I'm very sorry. I am on it. You haven't been forgotten. If you're getting worried, please feel free to drop me a message, but it's all, I would say, in hand, but I'm waiting for Facebook to get its life together. So there we are. The subscribers page will be coming along, and we'll make a great little community, and it'll be something fantastic. I've been wanting to do that for a long time now, and now's the time. New year and all that. So I'm very excited and slightly frustrated that it didn't work like clockwork, but hey ho. Second item on the agenda, just while people roll in, and as you roll in, hit the like button. Thank you very much. It all helps the channel, which will help it grow, and we can help more people. Second item, the January intake for the Mountain Division Ultimate Rider Confidence course, 3 months, study at home, talking to me, every bit of deep psychology, deep dive that you could possibly think of that's stopping you riding your horse, and get that change of mindset that you've always been wanting. The intake, it'll be somewhere around this video. In fact, it's under every video. All the links to everything I've got is under every video. And the intake for January is open now. So if you want to join that program, find that link and fill out the application form. Anything else on the... Oh, this is exciting. On the agenda, the next upload, watch out for that. In fact, I'll upload it straight away, is the link between anxiety, depression, and rider confidence. So this is something I do a little live every now and then. This is a pre-record that I'm going to upload, but it's just really useful to find out why your mind is going the way it is, what's happening. People going, what's wrong with me that I can't ride my horse without feeling scared? Nothing's wrong with you. And I've just made a little instruction that I put this on the internet 2 or 3 times a year, get a bit of chat going, but that's going to be later today, I should think. In fact, probably as soon as I finish this live, I'll get that uploaded. So watch out for that. Anything else on the agenda before we get going? Right, okay. Hello, everybody. Thank you very much. Laura, hello. Jane, hello. Here we go. So a simple 2-part strategy. Now, the first thing to understand is when we're using language, we don't use language to get the words across. We use language to get the imagery across. So when people are nervous about their horses, for example, quite a lot of people, I've seen it on the internet, for example, quite a lot of people have said this year, because it's full of New Year's resolutions, this year I'm going to conquer canter. And I've seen that a few times over a few years as well. This year I'm going to conquer canter. I get the words, but the words aren't putting over the imagery. The imagery of those words, this year I'm going to conquer canter, well, it's the word conquer that it carries the image that canter is an obstacle, an enemy, a black thing, and you're going to conquer it. It carries over the portrayal that you're going to need to be brave. The picture I have in my head with that imagery is somebody being frightened and brave and canter being dangerous. I've often put up posts when I'm talking about canter, because the other thing about canter is people often try so very hard to get over their nerves, and canter becomes this association with feeling nervous and feeling frightened. And now the word canter itself starts to have this negative, it's a neutral word, but a lot of people get a negative association with it. So I often skip that because I know people have got a negative association, and I'll put on posts about running around a bit. This year I'm going to do some running around a bit, or whatever works for you, if you've managed to make canter like, ooh, this monstrous word. So the imagery that you put across, so this is step one of the, no, step two actually of the two-step rider confidence course for 2023 today. Be aware of your imagery. Be aware of what you're trying to put across. There's a few blogs going around. I read a blog, and it was by, I've written it down, the Terrified Horse Owner blog, it's called. And they got in contact with me, as many blogs do. They got in contact with me and said, can we do something? Because I've got a lot of followers. And it's just utterly impossible. If you're reading the Terrified Horse Owner blog, then the whole imagery is the total opposite of everything that I stand for. I stand for people enjoying their horse. I stand for people having an exhilarating and thrilling and exciting time. That's my, I can't. So if you run a blog of the Terrified Horse Owner blog, you're already in the wrong imagery. If you belong to the Nervous Rider page, if you're a member of the Nervous Rider page, you can see where I'm going here, can't you? You can see where I'm going? Oh look, I've got a troll there. How do I get rid of troll? Can I block that? Block user. There you go. It's nice, got a troll there. I've forgotten what I was saying now. I had somebody on the Rider Confidence course on the same subject of the imagery, and bless, they'd really taken on board what I was saying, and the people on the Rider Confidence course try to say, well, Carl doesn't like us talking about the negative, so I'm not going to talk about my terrible accident. I'm going to find out what I can do about it. And saying I'm not going to talk about my terrible accident, or I see what you're thinking. You shouldn't use the word terrible accident. I'm always of the opinion that if you're going to say terrible accident, there better have been a terrible accident. I have people say I had a groom come and work here. I know I've told this story before, and sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I had a groom come to work here, and he really jumped when the horse didn't do much. I don't know what the horse. We were walking across the field, putting the horse out in its paddock, and the horse snorted or farted or something, and she really jumped. And I was like, "Oh, this is her first day." I said, "Oh, are you a bit frightened of horses?" And she was like, "No. Well, I used to be more confident than I am because I had a really bad accident and then I lost my confidence." And I was like, "Oh dear, what happened?" And here's a clue. If ever you say I've had a really bad accident, there needs to be air ambulances in it. Yeah. If it's just an accident, if you broke your leg or something, it's just an accident. It better have air ambulances in it. Anyway, more often than not, because this usually is the case, the people are fine. And indeed, the groom said, "Oh, yeah, I felt the horse bolted. I fell off, and the end of it is that she was perfectly fine. I was fine. The horse was fine, but it could have been so much worse." So this whole bad accident thing. So I have people on the Rider Confidence course saying, "Carl doesn't want me to talk about the bad accident." That's not totally true. First of all, there has to be a bad accident, but especially if it's like the event that Carl doesn't want me to talk about. Let's say that I don't know what it is, whether it's serious or whether nobody was hurt. I've got so many stories of people where nobody was hurt, but there you are. I don't know, okay? And this person comes into the Rider Confidence and they say, so I'm not going to talk about what Carl doesn't want me to talk about because we mustn't talk about the negative. And instead, I'll talk about how I can improve my nerves. Now, that's not true. I don't say don't talk about the negative. I talk about the negative all the time. When we're in the Rider Confidence course, the one day where you come here and you learn to rear and you learn to fall and you learn what to do if the horse falls over, what to do if it spins, all day long I'm talking about the negative. So who says I don't want to talk about the negative? I do want to talk about the negative. What I don't want to do is focus on the negative. I'll talk about the negative if it's helpful. So when we're talking about what to do when you fall off, we're talking about falling off. Now, traditional positive thinking would say, well, I'm not going to fall off. Let's think positive. I won't fall off. But of course, we're being realists. We're talking about the negative. We're grown-ups. We can deal with the negative, can't we? I'm sure we can. So, provided it's helpful, I'm very happy to talk about the negative. I can talk about falling off all day long in a helpful way. But what I don't want to do is focus on the negative. Focusing on the negative is the problem. So if someone says, oh, well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say because Carl doesn't like talking about that. Instantly, I'm thinking, oh, what's he got to say? What happened? The imagery that is associated with it, which brings me back to my main point. We don't use language to transfer words. We use language to transfer imagery. Now, the imagery I've got is something is so bad that they can't say in the Rider Confidence course room. There's nothing good. There's no good imagery coming. So although the language has avoided this story of disaster, the focus is still on, oh, this is the thing we mustn't say. And I get that in the Rider Confidence course. I read it endlessly on the blogs and posts in the Nervous Rider groups, endlessly focusing on, this year I'm going to conquer canter, stories and diaries of people who are desperately trying to overcome their fear, desperately trying, and the whole it's post after post after post after post of I'm really trying to get my fear in order. I'm really trying to achieve the things I want to achieve. I want to be able to ride my horse and go where I want and canter over the fields or whatever. And I need to get over my fear of doing that. And I did really well today. I was nervous, but I still did it. And the whole blog and the whole set of posts is all about being in this dark place, overcoming the fear that comes with dangerous horses. Everything that's said is all about overcoming the fear of dangerous horses. And that's almost the total opposite of working towards enjoying yourself. That's the imagery that I promote. My book's called Control Your Stress and Enjoy Your Horse. And I chose the title for a reason. Control your stress. Actually, I could actually take a knock for that and say, well, now you've got visions of people controlling their stress. So yeah, all right, I like that. But the second half, and enjoy your horse. That's what we're about. The blogs of people overcoming their nerves is putting a future where their nerves has gone. So it's all black and the reward's in the future. A blog of somebody enjoying their horse, well, there's nothing negative about enjoying your horse. So I'm enjoying my horse. And if you're doing it in a tiny little bite size, you could be enjoying your horse today. It doesn't matter that you're not getting on the horse and going galloping over the fields. You might be learning to long rein. I'm a big fan of long reining because it can get a relationship between you and your horse really well. Your horse trusting you, you being able to have the determination to say, get on now and go past these obstacles that you've set up with confidence and leadership, but without actually being sat on the horse's back and feeling frightened yourself. I'm a huge fan. And it's good fun. And if you've got to spend this season, this 2023, where spring's coming on really quick, learning to long rein, I'm jealous. It's a long way from galloping over the fields, but I know how much fun I've had learning to long rein these horses. We've had such fun. And then after we'd learned to long rein, then we started long reining pairs and fours and getting in a tangle with all the reins. And it was, look at my little face. That's how much fun it was. And that's what we need to get across. The reward doesn't need to be in the future. The reward needs to be the moment that you're having. There's a famous study where there were children, well, you'd have seen this in real life. Children who enjoy drawing, and they got a gold star for the drawings, and that will work very well. They did a drawing, got a gold star, did a drawing, got a gold star, and then the gold star stopped, and the children lost interest in drawing. Something they used to enjoy had now got associated with a reward in the future, and the actual moment of enjoying the drawing, the moment of enjoying the now, enjoying the stage that you're at, had gone because of this reward in the future. So if you're in a dark little place trying to overcome your fear of horses in the reward that you will be galloping over the fields at some point in the future, that makes it all seem like a huge slog. And oh my God, Carl's telling me that I've got to spend all of this spring learning how to long rein. What a chore. In fact, if I said that, the enjoyment of your horse has actually got further away. It's got further away if I'm like, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to learn to long rein, get good at it. That's taken a year. Then we can start going on about your bite sizes for getting used to the canter, and I've just extended it. The enjoyment is even further away than you thought it was. But of course, that's not what I'm saying. The enjoyment, the reward is in the moment. So these are your bite sizes for 2023 to make the most of the spring. 2 parts. First part. From now on, you've got a decision to make. The imagery that I'm trying to get across, when I say a sentence, when I say it to myself, when I write it down, when I say it to my friends, when I have the imagery, I have the choice to project the imagery of what I don't want, which is in a black place, trying to overcome my nerves. I'm going to conquer canter and all that sort of very heavy negative imagery. Or it would be more sensible, it would be a better decision to go, I will think about the imagery I'm putting over. And instead of saying the terrible thing that I'm not to talk about, which instantly brings your focus onto that thing, we could be thinking about, I would like to enjoy my horse. I would like to be the kind of person who's preparing to take the bite sizes to become the horse rider that I want to be. And in due course, that will encompass galloping over the fields. I am becoming the person that I want to be. I'm becoming the horse person that I want to be. I'm enjoying my horses, I'm building my relationship with my horses. whatever you want to say that carries the imagery of what you do want. And that takes effort. Takes effort. But go to the effort. It's a sensible decision. So, step one, your first bite size for 2023, if you want success. From now on, make that decision. Make the decision from now on to make sensible, positive decisions to succeed. Or don't. Can't be bothered. That's fine, but don't complain. Step one, make the decision from now on to make sensible, positive decisions to succeed. And that includes what imagery you want to get over, more important than the words, the imagery. Step two, enjoy the journey. So when you've decided what you're doing and your course that you're going to do, whether it's long reining or something else, or enjoy that moment. It would be the sensible decision would be to find the joy in the thing that you're doing. You could learn. I'm only using long reining as an example. Obviously, you can pick whatever you like. You can learn long reining. You can enjoy learning long reining, or you can hate learning long reining. So enjoy that journey. For me, that's what it's all about. But there's your two parts. One, be conscious of your imagery and make the sensible decision of what you're getting across. And two, enjoy the journey. Thanks for listening. Put your comments in the comments box. Thank you for everybody who has. Can a horse actually tell if you are nervous? One of my favourite things. Some do, some don't. Some sometimes, some always. Does it matter if they can? Well, probably if you're nervous, the horse won't care as long as you're looking after it. I've got a great analogy of when you walk into a classroom. If you're a teacher, you walk into a classroom and all the kids are there and there's a big spider on the wall and you notice it, and you don't like spiders, and you notice it, and you know you've got half a second before these kids go absolutely mental and see the spider. And as soon as the first one goes, there's a spider, you go, right, everybody calm right down. That spider is more scared of you than you are of it. So let's be nice to the spider, make sure that we don't frighten it, and you're off. And even though you might hate spiders and you're nervous, those kids don't know, and they will be grateful for your leadership so that they don't have to then panic about the spider. I've got loads of analogies like that. So the answer is, don't think about whether the horse can tell whether you're nervous or not, because it's a waste of energy. Think about, what does my horse need? And I will pass that over in the most confident manner that I can get. And if the horse knows that I'm nervous or doesn't know that I'm nervous, it's still going to be grateful that it doesn't have to think for itself and I'm telling it what to do. Super cool. Just having a little read here. Oh, this is so common. Laura, I'm going to put your little comment up in lights there. Almost all the conversation at our boarding facility is scary what ifs. I've had people on the Rider Confidence course move yards. You don't always get yards that are scary and what ifs, but you definitely do get them. There are good yards, and I'm always pleased when someone comes on the Rider Confidence course and they say, my yard isn't like this at all. I'm not recognizing this at all, Carl. And I'm like, oh, thank God for that. But most people, 80% of people, they know exactly what we're talking about. And it's exactly as you say, Laura, almost all the conversation at our boarding facility is scary what ifs. If it's bad enough, you might have to move yards. I have had people move yards who've been on my courses, and for the better, and really grateful that they did as well. In fact, the only time it didn't work was when somebody said that the yard was so negative and it was awful. They didn't want to speak to anybody. They were too scared to go out on their horse. Everybody else was scared to go out on the horse. And I was like, I'm sorry, it sounds like you're going to have to move yards. And she looked like she was, it was so bad. She looked like she was going to cry. She literally, her lips started to go and her eyes welled up. She went, it's my yard. And she was the owner. So I felt bad then. Yeah, so she was the owner. What had happened was it used to be a positive yard, and then she let one on, and then that one brought their mate. And boom, 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 6 years later, it's just full of absolute negativity. There we are. Super cool. Thank you very much for all your comments. Obviously, those of you looking on replay, this is going to be your chance to put in your comments and get going, and I'll look at them. And if there's any questions that you have, I'm going to get them answered. The question about can a horse actually tell if you're nervous? After this, I've got a little video that I'd like to put on there. So if anybody's interested in that, I'll just put that as a reply to Samantha's comment. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope it's been as fun for you as it has for me. And I'll see you later. Thanks very much. See you later.